What's up, y'all? This is Curious. I just wanted to talk to y'all about a new figure that I'm working on. It's a stand-in for Lonestar. If you don't know what Lonestar is, it's a comic book made by Mike S. Miller. You can follow his channel. It's Blacklist Universe. And I've actually been thinking about it since before the comic book even came out. And I was on Marauders one day and I was looking through their stuff because they have a lot of variations on 18th scale figures. And I was looking at their contract ops figures, and I found one. He had a black shirt, but he had like khaki pants, and then there was one with the blue pants, but he had a white shirt. So I was like, okay, well, I can buy both of those bodies and put the black shirt on the blue pants, and then I'm gonna have to sculpt the headgear. They do sell goggles, they sell combat belts. Have no idea how I'm gonna make the jacket. Then I gotta hand paint the eagle on it and the flag and the Texas flag. And I was just like, man, this is gonna be a lot of hard work. And then I scrolled down a little bit and I found this guy. So this is the deluxe version MTF male contract ops, green shirt, green pants, and black gear. Light skin version, 18th scale Marauder Task Force action figure. And here's your item code. Now, for anybody that hasn't read the book yet, I know you're thinking like, Curious, you're out of your mind. That doesn't look nothing like the guy on the cover. And you're right. But once you get into the book, you'll see that he actually has he has a few different looks. There's his vigilante look. His hanging out with angel look, which is pretty close to his vigilante look, just without the headgear and with a different shirt. Then you have him dressed in tactical gear, which is the version of him that I was thinking of when I saw this character, or when I saw this figure, and the reason why I bought it. So when you buy him, he comes with all these accessories. Got a combat type axe with a sheath, helmet with night vision gear, goggles, and you got a canteen, a face mask, handcuffs, and a bandana, but I'm not going to be using any of that. He also comes with a plate carrier with magazine pouches, combat belt with a leg drop holster, and then some more pouches over here for extra pistol mags and stuff. It comes with knee pads, elbow pads, and I believe that's it. Now, there are some obvious problems. Some can be made better, some there's nothing I can do about, there's nothing I can do to fix them. And I guess I'll talk about the problems that I cannot fix first. And one of them is his sunglasses. Of course, in the book, he's wearing like a pair of ballistic glasses that you would wear to the range that has clear lenses. That's actually sculpted onto his head, so there's nothing I can do about that. I can't change it out in any ways. And another problem that cannot be fixed is that in the book, he has his pants, has his boots bloused, which is why his pant legs are up above his boots. And here you can see that his pant legs are just over top of the boots. Now, one issue that's easily solved is the fact that he is wearing elbow pads, and in the book Lonestar is not. And of course that's easily fixed just by removing them. Another thing is that he's wearing, one that I cannot fix is in the book Mike actually has him with 2 sidearms, and this leg drop rig only has 1 holster, but that's not that big of a deal, I don't think. I do have a pistol for him. Another thing that I noticed is that he has a black armband. In fact, all of the unknown soldiers have a black, like a sweatband type of thing that goes around his forearm. So I just made the armband out of electrical tape. I just cut a slice off, wrapped it around, and then I heated it up to get it to mold to his forearm a little bit better. If you want to, though, you could always paint it. The next thing is, in the book, he's wearing gloves. Now the gloves are fingerless and also have Velcro on them. I found these on Marauders.com, and they're just gloved hands. If you wanted to, you could paint the regular hands to look like the gloves, but I decided to just pick these up, and I'm not going to bother painting the fingertips or the thing on them. I'm just going to call it close enough. The flesh tone, if I were to paint it on here, would probably rub off very easy whenever I put firearms or anything in his hands, so I'm just going to leave it as is and call it well enough. So another thing is they all have radios up here and a knife up here. Now Marauders does sell these knives, but as you can see, they're a little big for that application. They look okay on like a leg or something, but for up here they just a little too big. Plus the plug-ins for them are way down here, and it wouldn't match up very well, so I'm probably just going to forego that. They also do sell the little radios. I may pick up some and see if I can make another hole a little bit closer without messing anything up. And I may add a radio later. But as of right now, I'm probably not going to. So I have this spare 226 laying around, and I'm pretty sure in the book he actually has a 1911. I'm not exactly sure, but I already have this. Maybe later I'll pick up a 1911 and swap them out, but for now this is going to be his sidearm. So for his rifle, I decided to go with this right here, the F06C compact assault rifle with accessories, black version, deluxe, modular, 1/18 scale weapon for 3 3/4, and that's the item number here. Basically, it's just a SBR M4, short barrel M4, basically. But I thought it was the one that looked probably the closest to the one that he's carrying in the book. I also picked up another rifle, which I used one of these for my rag zombie. The reason that I picked this one up, though, is for the silencer and the flashlight, because the other does not come with either. And I was thinking definitely needs a flashlight, and I may put a suppressor on there as well. So this one actually comes with 2 different stocks. This one here, which kind of looks like a Magpul, and then well, actually they both kind of look like Magpuls, to be honest. But this one looked a little bit more like the one in the book. And then the way that Mike drew the rear sights on the gun in the book kind of looked like an EOTech. So I went ahead and slapped on the EOTech that came with this gun. It actually comes with a lot of accessories, a lot of different optics, which is pretty cool. The problem was it didn't want to fit in front of the rear sight, so I had to actually shave off the rear of it to get it to fit properly. And then the flashlight actually looked a little bit too big for this rifle, so I went ahead and I took the aim point, which should be an optic to be placed up on top, and I took that and threw it on the bottom. I think it passes as a flashlight. And then let me see if I can do this. I wasn't thinking ahead. Just pause. So that's what it looks like with the silencer, and I personally don't like it, so I'm gonna be taking it off. Now, for the part that I was dreading, all of them actually have earpieces so that they can talk to each other on the radio. I found this accessory on Marauders as well, and it's basically just a mic that you can connect to a helmet. With this, I have two options. I can either drill a very small hole in his ear and cut off a piece of it to make it look like his mic, or I can cut off a piece of the tip here and glue it. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. I just don't feel like trying to drill a hole in his head. And then if I get it too deep or too shallow or too, it just seems easier to probably glue it. So that's what I'm going to go with. So it's a lot harder to get one tiny little drop of super glue to come out of the tube, as you guys probably know, and as I almost ruined the entire figure. Basically what I ended up doing was taking the super glue and putting a drop on a piece of plastic, and then using a very small tip to just dab in the glue and then place on his ear. And then I used a pair of tweezers to place the mic in his ear. Now there's something that I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do yet, and that is his name tag or patch that goes all the way across his back. I'm thinking maybe I might be able to do something with some polymer clay, but I'm not sure because it needs to be heat set. I'm not sure if I would be able to heat it up enough with a blow dryer to get the clay to set without melting the whole rig. So if y'all have any ideas, let me know down in the bottom, and I'm just gonna keep an eye out for something that I might be able to use for that. Of course, then I'll have to paint Lonestar across his back in very, very tiny letters with the world's shakiest hands. So that's going to be a little difficult. One other thing I think I made, well, I thought, because I wasn't thinking about how small it actually was, but I was thinking that maybe I could paint the stakes that he keeps hidden, like stored in his molly. But looking at it, I think it's just going to be too small for me to be able to get that done and make it look like what it's supposed to be, rather than just blotches of paint, you know what I mean? So I might not even do that. The one more thing that I might do is I might go in and take like a blue and dry brush all of his gear so that you can see the all the details a little bit better. All the black, put a dry brush on, and I might dry brush all the green just to get some more, so you can see the details a little better, make it look more like clothing or cloth. but that's about it until I can figure out how to do the patches. If you want to make one similar, this is what I actually purchased. Let's see if I can get it. So we'll go like this, and then y'all will be able to pause the video. Yeah, everything in orange is what I actually ordered in order to make this. And this isn't a marijuana baggie. This actually just comes with the, this is what all the little tiny accessories come in, so. So, by no means is it perfect, but I think it'll make a decent stand-in until Mike can figure out a way to make us some Lonestar action figures. I also do have plans to make some of the other unknown soldiers. I've actually found some heads that I think will work for Preacher, Hothead, Killjoy, and even Brando. Well, Brando might be a little bit harder because his hair is not going to look right, but these two I can cover their heads with hats, and I'll just have to do a little paint for him. But Scout, I can't find a head that has a ponytail, so I'm going to have to do some thinking about that as well. I'm going to do him as soon as I can, but the money issue is a little thing. I'll probably buy another body, and then the heads and the weapons and everything that I need, and then as I can order the other bodies. Now, none of them are gonna be perfect, but they're gonna be somewhat close. So if you guys decide that you want to make your own stand-in Lonestar action figures or any of the unknown soldiers, one thing you got to be careful for is the accessories, as Uncle Ethan says, are so small that if you breathe, you will inhale them and they will be in your nose for the rest of your life. So be careful with that. As I found out, I lost the flashlight, so I'm going to have to spend probably tomorrow on my hands and knees looking for it so that I can glue it to the gun. I'm not gonna do it tonight. I actually should be asleep because I have to work at both the jobs tomorrow, but I was actually really excited about this figure, so I decided to stay up and do this video for y'all tonight. And also, if you do make the figures, hit me up on the Twitter and show them off. Let me see what they look like, what y'all came up with. I'm interested to see if y'all have any different ideas. So, yeah, I think that's it. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.